Hello. Welcome to Full Circle Healing. My name is James Hymes. For the last 20 or so years, I have been working with people one-on-one and in group formats, helping them get well, helping them become the best, highest version of themselves possible. I have a lot of tools in my basket, from Reiki to craniosacral therapy and shamanic healing practices and plant medicine ceremonies. And this is not always what I've done. But my journey today began in a whole nother world. I was living in LA, pounding the pavement of Hollywood. What I want to share with you today is the experience that completely changed the trajectory of my life. My NDE, or near-death experience. This is the story of how everything I thought I knew about reality was changed in an instant. But before I share this deeply personal story, I want to be clear about something. I don't speak to anything that I haven't in some way personally experienced. I don't claim to have all the answers, and I don't believe that I have access to wisdom that isn't available to everyone. And what I'm about to share is not just a story to me. It's the lived experience that fundamentally altered the way I understand reality and informs how I work with people today. And this happening, this NDE didn't make me, or doesn't make me special. What it did, though, is it revealed the extraordinary potential that exists within all of us. And it's important to understand that this experience didn't make me special, but what it did was reveal the extraordinary potential that is within us all. Okay, so I'm 31. I'm living in LA. I'm pounding the Hollywood pavement. I'm also navigating life and all my traumas and dramas, doing the best I can. And somebody gifted me a healing session with a craniosacral and polarity therapist, neither of which modalities I'd ever heard of. But, I'm game. I'm open to things, so I said, yeah. And I go to Emily's studio, we'll call her Emily, on Abbot Kinney Boulevard on Venice Beach, and I lay down on her table, and almost immediately I begin to have a seizure. Now, this is only the second seizure I've ever had in my life. The first one happened when I was 6 months old, and I have no conscious or cognitive awareness of. Anyway, I'm on Emily's table, and I start seizing. My body starts convulsing, and I'm choking, and I'm sweating, and I'm writhing and I'm roiling, and I am feeling my consciousness separate from my physical body. And almost in an instant, I feel myself lifting, rising, separating from my body, moving out through the office, up through the roof of the building, and careening up into the vast void of space. Simultaneously, I am having what I can simply say is a life review. But it's not just a review of my current life. It's a review of all of my lives. As I am zipping through the void of space, images and sounds and memories and experiences and remembrances are zooming by me. All the while, I am foaming at the mouth and frothing and sweating, and Emily is doing everything she can to help me. And it's all happening really fast and seemingly out of control. And then I realize that I am lingering in a particular lifetime. And it's as if I am hovering from above, watching this scene play out below me. And I know that I am the central character in this scene that's playing out below me. And it becomes apparent that there's something significant, more significant than all the other lifetimes in this particular lifetime. And after what felt like an eternity, I find myself suddenly hovering in the middle of the universe. All around me, in every direction, is simply the black void of infinite space. So this next part is a little hard to put into ordinary language, because honestly, there probably isn't ordinary language that could possibly do it justice, but I'll do my best. Here I am. And when I say here I am, like literally my essence, my consciousness, my soul is hanging out in the middle of the vast black void of space. And coming into my awareness is what I simply call the hand of God. And it is a fractalated, multicolored, giant hand that is vibrating and luminescent and filled with energy and essence, and the essence of connection and knowing all at once, just swirling and moving through this hand in a bazillion electric colors that I could never even begin to describe. Somehow, following an inner knowing, I reach my finger up in the middle of this black void of the universe, and I extend it towards this hand of God. And if you've ever seen the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo's fresco, my hand, my finger, and this multicolored multicolored electric hand of God touch. It's as if I was struck by 10 million bolts of lightning simultaneously. And everything that you could imagine you might experience being struck by 10 million bolts of lightning moved through me in an inexplicable surge of knowing and understanding and connectedness. And the next thing I know, I am careening back down through this black void of space at an untold rate of speed. And I move through the roof of the building and I crash land back into my body with a literal thud. Emily, who herself at this point was drenched in sweat and tears and saturated in fear and disbelief and belief simultaneously, could think of nothing to do other than drag my frigid, freezing, trembling body off the table, out the back door, into the sunshine, where we both collapsed onto the concrete. As I fell to the ground, my right heel struck the concrete with a thud. And what both she and I heard was a gong the size of this room being struck with a giant mallet. She and I looked at each other and we began to sob. The resounding gong that we both heard somehow seemed to catalyze and shift this experience into a different reality for me. In that moment, I understood that I received what I can only call or describe as a download. There was the essence of this knowing, this really deep understanding that I wasn't special. I know that sounds crazy, right? Because you might think just the opposite, but it was actually profoundly